Hello class, we're working out of your Pre-Algebra book 7.1, Forms of Percents. We're asked to present percent as a ratio of a number, and that is some number over 100 that can equal a percent. Let's look at examples. To get started, if you're asked to express 88% as a fraction in lowest terms, we can put 88 over 100, 88 parts of 100, and then reduce. 4 goes into 88 22 times, 4 goes into 125 times, and that is our reduced fraction. If we are asked to express 37.5% as a fraction in lowest terms, let's take this to a decimal representing that half as a 0.5. And then we can put 37.5 over 100. We want to get rid of our decimal, and we need to move that one place to the right by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 10. Now we will have 375 over 1,000. We can reduce that. 25 goes into 375 15 times. 25 goes into 1,004 40 times. And then this reduces to 3/8 in the lowest fraction possible. If we're asked to express 13 and 1/3% as a fraction in lowest terms, we still would put this over 100. There's a couple of ways we can attack this. Here's one way. We can say 3 times 13 is 39 plus 1 is 40 over 3 still, all over 100. We multiply by 3 on the top and bottom. That will eliminate the denominator on the top, but we have to multiply by 1. And over here in the margin, 3 over 3 is 1. So that's why we're multiplying by 3 on the top and the bottom. So if that's true, then that will leave us with 40 over 300. And 20 goes into 40 twice. 20 goes into 300 15 times. That's our reduced fraction. The other way we can look at this, if I move to green and work again with the same idea above, we have 40/3 over 100. Okay, this is like saying 40/3 times 1 over 100. Look that over. You kind of need to know this as well. Can you see how this in the margin is the same as our problem over here? So if that's true, and we have 40/3 times 1 over 100, and we know how to work this, don't we? We can cross cancel. So we can say 20 goes into 40 twice, and 20 goes into 105 times. And we work with our new work. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15. You can see working this problem both ways yields the same reduced fraction. If we express 3/20 as a percent, then we can say, okay, it's easy to find a percent when the denominator is 100. Let's do that. 3/20. To get 20 to be 100, we would multiply by 5. If we multiply in the denominator by 5, we need to multiply in the numerator by 5. And it'll be 15 over 100, and we can see our percent right away. Let's look at this fraction, 7/8 expressed as a percent. It's not as easy to make 8 100 as it was to make 20 100 in the last problem. We can always default to dividing because a fraction bar is a division symbol, 7 divided by 8. So if we work that, then we're going to have 7 divided by 8. We're going to need some decimal spots behind our 7 here to work that. That makes sense. 8 goes into 7 0 times, but 8 goes into 70 8 times. And the decimal goes straight up. 70 minus 64 is 6. Bring down our 0, work above our 0. 8 into 60 goes 7 times. And we have 7 times 8 is 56. And 8 into 40 goes 5 times. Terminates. And now we have 0.875. Multiply that by 100 to make it a percent. And that will equal 87.5%. 1, 2. I'm moving that decimal over 2 places by multiplying 100. So from our decimal equivalent and dividing our fraction, we can multiply by 100 and find the final percent. Number 26. We are asked to express 7 1/2 as a decimal and percent. As a decimal, just make your 1/2 the decimal equivalent. We know that's 0.5, and so we have part of our instructions met. If 7.5 is taken times 100, that will yield our percentage, and we have 750%. Is that easy? Okay, number 32. Write a proportion to change fractions to a percent. Solve for x in your proportion and round to the nearest tenth of percent. If you're given 19 over 30 and you write this as a proportion, it's going to be equal to something over 100. Making that 30 100. So here's our proportion, and we solve. We can cross multiply to solve. So we're going to have 1900 equals 30x, solve for x. And then when we divide, 1900 divided by 30, we get 6. Thirty goes into 103 times. Okay, that's 90. That leaves 10. We add a point here, and we bring down. That's a repeating 0.3333. That'll go on and on forever. And so our percentage is going to be 63.3% will equal x from our division. Rounded to the nearest tenth of percent after the decimal. So you were asked to write a proportion, make your fraction 19/30 equal to some number over 100%, or over 100 to get to your percent, parts of the whole over 100, and solve for what x would be from the 19. That's what we're trying to find, our mystery number, x. Cross multiply to get there. Divide, finding your decimal to the nearest tenth of a percent, and switch to percentage. 38. Write 2.5% as a fraction. Okay, well, 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5/2. If we multiply that by 1 over 100, we've seen this already in these examples, we're going to have what part of 100? 5 times 1 is 5, 2 times 100 is 200, and our fraction will be 1 over 40. I hope this helps, and I'll see you soon.